Alright, what's up, y'all? This is going to be another video. I'm going to be showing you records I've been picking up over the last few months. I think it's been maybe about 6 months since I've done a video, and I don't know. I always feel like I don't find a whole lot, but I do one of these videos, and it kind of reaffirms that there is stuff still out there. So I'll just go ahead and jump into the things I've been picking up. Any kind of comments, questions, whatever, just post them up. So a couple things. First of all, you know, I've got some records out in my shed that I've had for a while, just collections I buy and just kind of the stuff I weed through. So I'll go back through those records once in a while, and sometimes I still find things I didn't realize I had. These next couple are ones that I found. I got a Dred Scott back in the day, and what's the B-side on this? Can't Hold It Back, with Can't Hold It Back on the B-side. And this album, The Roots, Things Fall Apart. I don't know why I keep passing this over, but that was cool to find in there. The rest of these are ones I've picked up at local stores, flea market, stuff like that. So I'll just go ahead and jump into those. Got Steezo, Crazy Noise, LP. A lot of people know this album because of Steezo's involvement with Paul C on the production tip. And shout out to FXP. I think this is your boy from Connecticut. Steezo, Crazy Noise, pretty dope album. Camp Low, Coolie High. Another single I've been looking for. That was a, I think that was a flea market, yeah. You got Mobb Deep, Hell on Earth, a couple copies of the promo version. Hieroglyphics, The Who, single. Group Home, The Legacy, produced by Premier, featuring Guru. So if you really think about it, this is like a Guru, or this is like a Gangstar single with Group Home on it. It's kind of dope though. Ghetto Boys, Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster remixes. Don't find a lot of Rap-A-Lot stuff here in the South, surprisingly. Rugged Scientist, Lights, Camera, Action. It's an independent release. It looked kind of intriguing to me. The stamped cover and all. It's pretty nice. Gangstar, Take It Personal, with Dwick on the B-side. This is a much nicer copy than the ones I had. Still in the shrink. The hype sticker, so I had to pick this up. It was at a show, at a local show. Main one, The Ghetto Child. Learn to Be a Man for Self, produced by Buck Wild. DJ Spinner, Compositions, Part 1. Found this at a local thrift store. A couple local artists. Got Dolomite from 2000 here in Richmond area, produced by Clef Dollars. After show, Give Me That Microphone, and By Any Means. I just thought the label art was pretty dope on this. Then you got We Bi with Showdown, You Owe Me, Pride Migration, and We Be Massive. Found this at a local comic book shop, along with this single, which I didn't realize was on wax, but We Be Anthem, Let Me Know, and IE Industry Escapades, and Live Then Die on Still Sealed. That was cool to find. Produced by Clef Dollars. Actually, all three of these produced by Clef Dollars. Rest in peace, Clef Dollars. Passed away a few years ago. Babbletron, All the Way Hype, produced by LP on the B side. Space Tech Banana Clip, produced by MF Doom on the A side. I think the MF Doom production was kind of like a reused beat, but the LP production was original. Pretty dope single. Clean LP, 2LP, Kill Army, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. I collect a lot of these clean LPs when I find them. Guess I'm a family man and everything. Yomo and Marky, Are You Experienced? Yomo and Marky, a lot of people don't know about these guys, and if you do, then you old like me apparently. But I was big into Ruthless around their heyday, around when NWA was popular, that kind of stuff. And I remember seeing a video of this on Yo MTV Raps. They had a video for Glory, and I found out this album was produced by Yella, so I had to pick it up on cassette. And this is the first time I've seen it on wax, so glad I picked it up. I think it's a promo only type of deal. Pretty cool. Good album. A lot more positive than most of what was coming out on Ruthless at the time. Ill Biscuits, God Bless Your Life. Again, rest in peace to Clef Dollars. OC, Bon Appetit, the third studio album by OC. Not as good as the first two in my opinion, but still pretty good. A couple gems on this. And you got Sean Price, Monkey Bars. And I had the pleasure of seeing Sean Price perform live with Ill Bill maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And it was a great show. And Sean Price, and I actually got to meet him, which was cool. But Sean Price has always impressed me as being extremely lyrical, and he's really hard, but at the same time, he jokes about being like the brokest rapper you know, and he's just real self-deprecating, just a funny dude, great lyricist, man, rest in peace. I picked this up maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I found out he passed away. It was an album I knew I had to have in my collection, and I guess my timing was pretty good, but man, really sucks that this guy passed away. Great lyricist, Sean Price. Dilated Peoples, Expansion Team, 3 LP. Yeah, found this at the flea market. Pretty cool find. Another one I found at the flea market, Uptown, Dope on Plastic. Then you got Dell, Both Sides of the Brain. Great album by Dell. Hieroglyphics, Alchemist, Hold You Down with Mobb Deep. Akinelli, Akaha, Akuhu, and Dear Diary with that Large Professor production in Large Pros Prime, in my opinion. One of the last like really dope albums he produced. Organized Confusion, Somehow, Some Way. Picture cover version, which I didn't have, just had the promo version. I always like to grab stuff like that. A few more I got at the flea market. Got Outkast, Players Ball, Get Up, Get Out, Pete Rock, CL Smooth, I Gotta Love, Show and AG, Next Level, another one I always pick up when I find it. Black Moon, End of the Stage, album I've been needing for a while. I just haven't found it locally like I expected to, but kind of been waiting around. I finally found a real nice copy of this. Great album, obviously. Dell, No Need for Alarm, probably my favorite Dell album. I got to see Hyro around the time when Third Eye Vision came out, and this was Dell's newest album at the time. Made quite an impression on me. Certain tracks on this. I think it was like the 4th song into the show. It was just Hyro up there. Basically, Souls and Mischief was up there, and then Dell came out to You're in Shambles, and everybody just kind of went wild. So definitely, album's got a special place for me. Steezo, Freak the Funk, 12-inch single. Cool G Rap, DJ Polo, Road to the Riches. I think it's like a gold stamp promo. And this reminds me, if you haven't seen the Stretch and Bobbito documentary, definitely check it out. If you are a fan of my taste in music, kinds of things I pick up, I'm sure you'd love this documentary if you haven't seen it. Most everybody's heard of Stretch and Bobbito, but the reason I mention all this is because in the documentary, Bobbito talks about the first time he saw Stretch Armstrong spinning records, and he's playing Road to the Riches, so that kind of made me smile. This is my favorite Cool G Rap cut still. And then Dollar Bin, it's always worth looking in those places. Then you got Too Short, Freaky Tales, Saga Continues, and Mac Attack on the B-side, one of Too Short's earlier singles before he was on Jive. So that was cool to find. I'm a big fan of Too Short. I just don't find a lot of his material around this part of the country. OC, Born to Live, and Let It Slide, Test Press, off his first album, OC. And you got My World, produced by Premier, off of Jewel's second LP. MC Paul Barman, It's Very Stimulating, EP, produced by Prince Paul. This dude is very funny. Another like self-deprecating rapper. I don't know, this for what you can find this EP for, it's definitely worth the money. Hilarious, and this dude is actually pretty talented. Obviously anything Prince Paul produces is worth a listen anyway. Then you got Gemini, Super G. Just a quick story about this. There was a Craigslist ad that I responded to. Guy had a few thousand R&B records, and I figured I'd go check them out. and unfortunately everything was pretty beat up. They'd been thrown around from crate to crate, and there was a lot of water damage, mildew and mold and stuff like that. And I just wasn't interested in buying everything like this guy wanted. And I had this handful of records. I just handed them to the guys, like, you know, I'd be interested in these if you're willing to sell these. And he looked through them and he couldn't recognize any of the names. So he was like, man, just take them with you. And I offered him some money, but he was like, no, I'll just take them. So I was super happy to find this. Made the trip worthwhile. This is a pretty rare 12. Really good too, independent from 94, Super G. A few albums I found. This is one I've been looking for on wax. Above the Law, Black Mafia Life. One of the early G-Funk albums. And a lot of people remember that Above the Law sued Dr. Dre when The Chronic came out, because they said that he bit a lot of his ideas from this album, from Black Mafia Life. And ATL used to be on, well, actually we're on Ruthless when this came out still, but during Dr. Dre's heyday with NWA, they were kind of affiliated. And I don't know what became of the lawsuit, but this is a great album. They do use a few of the same samples, which is kind of hard to, I don't know. Nobody owns samples, so it's kind of hard to say they really bit. Either one kind of bit off the other, but this is a great album if you're into G-Funk or West Coast hip-hop, gangsta hip-hop from the late 80s, early 90s. Gotta check this out. Great album. Alcoholics, Coast to Coast, 2 LP. Definitely one of my favorite Alcoholics projects. Front to back, this album is insanely good. Pretty much every cut on this is a classic, in my opinion. Production is has a lot more of an East Coast kind of feel to it, and it's definitely not a gangsta album. But call it what you want. This is a great album. Beatnuts, Intoxicated Demons EP. First project put out on a major label by Beatnuts. It's one I had on my want list and just picked up. Class C, Swisher Sweet. Found this in the singles bin at one of the local stores for like $2 or $3. Decided to check it out because it came out in, I think it was 94, 95 actually. But I saw it was produced by 8 Ball from 8 Ball and MJG. I figured it was worth a listen. And come to find out, it's actually pretty rare. But this is pretty dope. I'll probably keep it in my collection. This is another local single, the After Dark Flavor Squad, with Steady Smoking and After Dark. This is one that my boy Frank found and traded me. I'm always looking for local hip hop from the 90s, early 2000s, so I was glad to add that to my collection. And you got East Coast Assassins, The Payback. This one came out, I think, in 95, 96. The lyricism on this and the production is kind of antiquated, to be honest. It sounds more like something come out in about 86. But just figured I'd pick it up for novelty value. It's kind of a rare record. Bushwhackers, Lay It On Me, and Caught Up in the Game. Caught Up in the Game, definitely my favorite on this single, produced by Buck Wild from DITC. Real nice single. Beatnuts, Reign of the Tech. Nothing needs to be said. Probably one of the most classic Beatnuts singles. My vinyl weighs a ton. Instrumentals. Found this in one of the collections I got off small collections I got off Craigslist. Just instrumentals. I think it's on double vinyl. Yeah. Big L, MVP. One of those records you pick up when you see it, just because it's Big L. Nice single though. Biz Marquee, Make the Music with Your Mouth Biz. This is a much nicer copy than the one I had, so glad to add that to my collection. Common Sense, Sold by the Pound, with the Thump Mix, also known as the Video Mix on the B-side. This one was a big one that was on my want list for a while, and of all places, ended up finding it at the flea market, so I was very happy that day. Same day I found this, Joe Budden, Focus. Dumped 2 copies of this promo. And you got Cypress Hill, Hand on the Pump, and Real Estate. Great single. You got Diamond D, MC Squared, and Hiatus Remix. on the B side. I'm pretty sure MC Squared is the same track that was on the Sound Bombing 2 compilation, When It Pours It Rains, under a different name. Real nice single. Diamond D with the dope sound, and Fantastic Four, You're in the Wrong Place. Group of 4 MCs with Razzcast, John Doe, Big Red, and K Terrace. I just saw Razzcast was on it. I figured I'd check it out. Razzcast and Diamond D, definitely a dope combination. Cannibal Ox, the F Word. The cut on this is definitely Metal Gear, in my opinion. It was cut that kind of got left off the Cold Vein LP, but really should have been on it. I think it's super raw, really dope. Life's Ill is another nice cut that wasn't on the album. I got this one in one of those small collections I picked up. Cherokee, Show You How. Female MC from, I believe, 96. Pause this real quick. Yeah, sorry about that. So you got Cherokee, Show You How. A nice independent single. My boy Frank picked this one up, I think at a thrift store, and it's one I've definitely been looking for. It's the original version, the first press of Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 chambers. The only version I've got is kind of like the newer repress, and sound quality kind of sucks, to be honest. So I heard that the original press was a lot better, and it's definitely true. So I was really happy to find this. I guess you just don't see it as much because everyone keeps it in their collection. They don't really part with it. It's not that it's super rare or anything, but definitely a big one I checked off my list. Deltron 3030. Dell project with Automator, Dan the Automator. And speaking of Automator, you got the quintessential Automator project, Dr. Octagon Ecologist with that ill pus head artwork. This is a newer release. I'm still looking for the first release, but I thought the lenticular cover was pretty cool. It's kind of like a little bit of 3D effect, and that artwork is so awesome. The only thing I don't like about this release, and it's kind of stupid, but there's a couple tracks on this that weren't on the original release. I think it's 1977 and Real Raw. I just can't get used to seeing them on here. They just don't feel like they fit to me. But great album. Nothing really needs to be said about this. Great album. Master Ace, Take a Look Around. First LP on Cold Chillin', Master Ace. Another classic album. Black Alicious, Make You Feel That Way. I'm a big fan of Black Alicious. It's something about these guys. I mean, it's really, I guess it's easy to put my finger on. They're a lot more positive than most hip hop that comes out. A lot more topical. And Gifted Gab just has incredible skills, incredible MC skills. So this is one of those songs that just kind of is more uplifting, kind of makes you feel good. So I had to pick this up. Tribe Called Quest, Award Tour. Found this in the Dollar Bin of all places. Definitely got to pick that one up. Gangstar, Full Clip, and Dwick, one of the promo singles from that Full Clip album. Das Effects, Real Hip Hop, another one I found at the flea market. Another single that I gotta pretty much pick it up every time I see it. Mr. Complex, 2 copies of this, why don't you? You got the Rorschach label version and the stamp version. I guess the stamp version is probably a little harder to find, but yeah, it's even got the Rorschach with the phone number on it. But this is one of my favorite Spinna productions. The beat on this, I mean, Mr. Complex is dope too, but this is probably one of Spinna's dopest beats in my opinion. Really happy to find doubles of that. Another flea market one I picked up, MOP, Handle Your Business EP, with one of my favorite MOP cuts, Handle Your Business Premiere Remix. Speaking of flea markets, I picked up these 45 RPM records, which I mean, I don't collect a lot of 7-inch records, a lot of 45 RPM records, because there's not a lot of hip hop that I actually find on 45. But these are hilarious to me. You got Bahamadia, I Confess, and You Know How We Do, with the marquee, like the label and everything. Like, what jukebox would have Bahamadia as an option? I mean, that just That just kills me. Also Boogie Monsters, God Sound, and Beginning of the End. You can even see on there it says for jukebox only, which is hilarious to me. So those are really cool to find. Last few, these are probably the three most recent I got. Got J Electronica, Exhibit A and Exhibit C picture disc with the instrumentals. Something I'm really glad to have on vinyl. It just came out. EPMD, Strictly Business, 12-inch single. Much nicer copy than the one I had. Probably one of my top 5 EPMD songs. And finally, Run the Jewels, the UK version of the first album with the clear green and black splatter wax. Pretty dope to have this. I've got the 4 LP of the original one with the instrumentals, but this has been on my list for a while. I just didn't want to pay import shipping and stuff, so happy to find this at a local store. And I guess that's about it. Those are most of the records I've picked up over the last few months. Hope you enjoyed. Any questions, comments, put them down below. I'll probably be doing a video soon, something stupid that nobody really wants to see, but I might do like a cassette collection video. I think somebody said they wanted to see that, like one person, so I might be doing that. Any suggestions though, just hit me up. Peace.